Hello, gorgeous. Today I want to talk about you. If you are a wife and a mom, and although you love those roles and you are in love with your kids and your partner, you also want more for yourself. And because of how your life has been for the past years, I'm gonna guess, you don't know where to start. You don't know how or where to even begin making a shift from stepping into something else than being a mom and a wife. And you probably are someone who has, obviously, you have had a life before all of that happened. You probably worked, you did something that you were probably very good at. And, one thing bringing to another, you have put a lot of you aside, or you have even lost touch with so many different parts of you, perhaps even your essence, what people like to call your inner self, your higher self, that part of you that is so deeply ingrained in you. It's actually the real you that maybe not a lot of people know, but it's there. And now you're wondering, how do I reconnect with that part of me? How do I reignite this fire, this light that I have inside of me, but I have just put on hold for I don't know how many years? You want it to be dedicated to your household, to your partner, to your family. And of course, you are amazing at it. And you can be amazing at so many other stuff. But perhaps with life having changed so much in the past years, you're wondering what it is. What is this essence of yours that you want to bring to the surface, and how's that going to work? How people are going to react? How are you going to deal with it yourself? And even though you have those doubts and those questions, there's actually something within you that's stronger than any of that. It's your passion, it's your fire, it's your inner wisdom, it's your inner light, it's your inner goddess and queen who want to start being back in the forefront, of your life. But it's a big step, and it might feel scary and it might feel unknown. And you probably are not the same person you were before being a mom and a wife. And yeah, you're wondering how to navigate this, how to explore that, how to reconnect with that. And this is exactly what I'm passionate about. Hi, my name is Joelle. I am a self-discovery and embodiment coach. In short, what it means is that my work and my role is to guide you and empower you to reconnect with that part of you. It's to really ask you some questions that are going to encourage you to introspect. And it's no surface level work. It's actually some deep work. And that's why I really love to work only with people who are committed to do that work. And I'm here with you on every step of the process to guide you. I'm never here to find the answers to your question. This is your role. Sometimes, even if I always tell my clients, the answers are already within you, a lot of them are very surprised because they tend to want to find answers outside of themselves. They think that, but if I knew that, I wouldn't need a coach. I wouldn't need to go, on this journey. But there's a big difference between your inner knowing and to be aware of what you know deep within. And this is where the embodiment parts come. Because at the mind level, there's so many things happening every day. And what happens is, because you are taken in this whirlwind of activities and emotion and things you need to do and things you need to attend to, and there's a lot of things always keeping you busy, it's very easy to then stay in your mind and don't go down into your body and connect with what's more profound. And this is exactly what embodiment coaching is about. And self-discovery for me is crucial. Why? Because sometimes what a lot of people would do is being in a hurry. We live in a world where people are in a hurry, and that's a fact. But being in a hurry means taking quick decisions. And taking quick decisions can mean without actually being really sure of where those decisions will take you. And my role is to help you connect with your depth, connect with your true desire before we can find what's going to be your way towards that. So instead of taking the action first, thinking that, but that action is going to bring me this sensation, this feeling, this emotion, we kind of work in a different way. We connect with your true desire, and then we plan your actions. And I always like to take this example because it's an example that I know very well, is thinking that, but when I lose this many pounds, then I'll feel XYZ. And I'm sure I talked about that before. And this is kind of a very kind of masculine energy way of thinking, is like thinking that an action, or let's say like a circumstance, will give you a certain feeling. But what I want you to do is focus first on how you want to feel, so then we can decide what are our ways to go to there. When I say our ways, actually, what is your way, your unique way to meet that expected feeling or emotion? And it's usually not what you think it is. It might sound a bit abstract for now, and that's perfectly fine. Going back to today's topic, which is that your life is now, mama. Your life is happening today. Not tomorrow, not, next month, next year, because I'm sure this is something that you're already used to be doing and you want this to change. Tell me if you resonate with that and if you recognize yourself in this when I say that you have, I'm sure, so many good ideas. Maybe project, could be work or career related or not, but you keep delaying it because it never seems to be the right time. As a very dedicated and loving mom and wife, you probably have so much on your plate and so many things you have to deal, for others to make sure their needs are met. And you're very good at that. You're very dedicated, passionate, and people expect that from you. And now it's like, how on top of all of what's already happening am I going to fit my own needs? You're asking yourself this, while at the same time, deep down that if you don't do this now, what's going to happen? You're going to have resentment one way or another towards maybe your family. You're going to see your life passing by thinking that, what about my dreams? What about my career, if this is what you want to do? What about my joy? What about my enjoyment? And what I want to tell you today is this is absolutely your choice. Even if you're fearing that, oh, but what is my partner, my husband, going to think? How are my kids going to react if I start to change and start prioritizing myself? Well, let me tell you one thing. You worry about that later, because right now, what you need to worry about is how you're feeling. So I just want you to take a second and really, be very, very honest just with yourself. This answer is for you. How are you feeling in your life? What are the things that you are probably very happy and fulfilled about? Probably your family, and you're blessed with a loving, functioning household, and you are present, you're a present wife, you're a present mom, you get to attend so many activities from your kids that other moms maybe don't have the chance to attend, and this is so valuable. And perhaps a part of you is fearing that, if you start to prioritizing yourself, this connection with your kids might, fade or even disappear. And that connection and love and dynamics you have with your husband might also, change. And I'm going to tell you, it might change and evolve, but the love and the foundation that you have, I'm pretty sure that this is meant, to stay, no matter how you decide to upgrade, I would say, yourself. So the thing is, so many women, so many wives and moms that I know, personally or not, doesn't matter, I see this happening is you put yourself often always at the bottom of the list. But when, your day is over doing everything for other people, how much really is left for you? How much power, energy, even love you have for yourself? How do your kids' lunchbox look like? How is your lunch looking like? Your kids' water bottles are like lined up and always full. Do you hydrate yourself enough? And it's this kind of things that seem like details, but it tells you a lot about looking after others and forgetting yourself in the process. And, I'm not going to tell you, it's good or it's bad. I'm just asking you, how are you feeling and how would you like to feel instead? If there's anything you'd like to change. Is there anything that you're delaying because you think that, I don't have the time right now? And you're wondering how maybe other moms do it. Some have maybe no choice from a financial perspective. They might need to anyway go to work and you don't know how that would make you feel, but your situation is different. This is the thing. I coach primarily expat women because I know this life so well. This has been my life for almost a decade. And I do know one thing is that while it's a blessing to live like that, and 100%, I will never argue on that part, I also know because you don't have a certain pressure that other women might have, then you might feel just comfortable where you are. And you think that, I have my basic needs met. I don't have maybe financial pressure. I get to spend time with my kids. It's not about life, and I hear you. But there's something more. You're meant for something more. Maybe you know already what it is. Maybe you don't know. Maybe it has changed. Maybe it was something before, and now you feel that you want something else in your life. Whatever situation is yours, I'd like to ask you this. What do you want to do about it? And what is stopping you, really? Because if you are always thinking that, oh, I can't, I don't have the time, my family will resent me, then you're not allowing yourself to try. But to me, and that's maybe a topic for another day, when you are so sure and confident and passionate and driven and cold to just look for something else in your life, everything else will fall into place. And of course, it might take some conversation with your partners and with your family. It might take some reorganization, but I'd like to say that this is secondary. The first main question that I want you to ask yourself is, what is perhaps missing in my life? What is this thing or these things that I really want, that I really desire, but I don't allow myself to do because I'm not used anymore to prioritizing myself? How does it even work? If this is where you're at, if this is you, well, your job is to start today thinking about that at a deeper level and know that there is a way. There is absolutely a way for you to maybe not change everything from a day to the next, but just get clear on what it is that you want. And when people say happy life, happy wife, I have to say, yes, that's correct. What you don't want to end up being is a resentful wife, and a bitter mom. You don't want that for sure. But I know for me, in my case, that there were times where I started to feel that way. I started to feel that it's not fair. My husband gets to, go to work and have a fulfilling career. And, I have to do X, Y, Z. And when I felt in that place, I wasn't being fair because I would see just what my partner gets to do and what I don't get to do, what I have to do and he doesn't have to do, without seeing all of what he has to also perhaps compromise so I can have the life that I have. And I think that it's very common, when you're not happy or when you feel something is missing in your life, all you can see is, what's actually wrong, or just wishing that people recognized your effort more. But you know as well that being a mom is the less rewarding job in a way. I mean, there's a lot of it that's very fulfilling, but you know that kids don't always recognize your work. They don't always recognize what you do. They just think it's normal because you've been doing it so well that they just think it's the norm. But it's not. You're special, you're exceptional, but you also know that you can be exceptional beyond your role of a wife and a mom. So if this is something that you are kind of pondering or just longing or waiting for, my question is what are you exactly waiting for? What is the permission that you need? What is the sign that you need? What is the event perhaps that you need to happen in your life so you start to prioritize yourself again, that you start to live your life, not your life as a mom and a wife, your life. And what is it that you're afraid of? And those questions are going to be different for every single human. And that's why I'm not here to tell you this is happening and, I'm going to explain to you exactly why I will never do this. This is not my role as a coach. My role is to guide you towards your own answer so you can get clarity, you can get a sense of direction, you can get some clear goals that are going to reflect your desires. And we can, session after session, get you closer and closer and closer to the life that deep down you deserve to live, that you were meant for more than that. And the truth is, for me, I want to just share my own lived experience. Hang on, give me a second. I have an alarm for something. As a little side note, this is an alarm for when I need to book a taxi or pick up my son from somewhere, but now it's the holiday, so I'm not doing that. We're at a ski resort. My son is skiing somewhere with a group. So what was I going to say? Yes, getting you closer and closer to your goals and your desire. And it's a unique journey, and this is why coaching is so amazing. Is like every single session, conversation that I have with each client is always different. And what I love about what I do is to have my client to come in contact with what has been maybe forgotten, buried, ignored, and just have that come back to the surface so you can start living your life now, really. So that's mainly what I wanted to bring as the topic of the day, and I'll see you on the other side.